Research is hard, but your tools should not be. Subthesis.com is the free alternative to expensive software. Whether you need to calculate Cronbach's alpha or organize your field notes, Subthesis has a tool for it. No paywalls and no registration required. Check the link in the description and let's dive into today's lesson. Welcome to this essential guide on managing your reference library as a graduate student. If you read even moderately during your graduate program, you will encounter hundreds of sources, from journal articles to books to reports to websites. Without a systematic approach to organizing these materials, you will waste countless hours searching for sources you know you have read, struggling to remember who said what, and manually formatting citations when you should be writing. Reference management software solves these problems, but choosing and implementing the right tool requires understanding what each option offers and how it fits your workflow. Today, we will compare the three most popular reference managers, Zotero, Mendeley, and EndNote, exploring their strengths, limitations, and ideal use cases. More importantly, we will discuss how to build sustainable practices for collecting, organizing, and using sources throughout your academic career. By the end of this session, you will be equipped to make informed decisions and implement effective practices across four key areas. First, you will understand the distinguishing features of major reference management tools and be able to select the option that best fits your academic workflow, budget, and institutional context. Second, you will learn principles for building an organized reference library that scales from your first semester to your dissertation and beyond into your professional career. Third, we will explore citation integration with word processors, the killer feature that saves graduate students countless hours of tedious formatting work. Finally, you will develop sustainable practices for collecting, organizing, and maintaining your source library so it remains useful rather than becoming an overwhelming mess. Let us begin by understanding why reference management matters so much for graduate success. Understanding why reference management matters helps you appreciate the investment in learning these tools. The volume of sources you will engage with during graduate school far exceeds anything you encountered as an undergraduate. A typical doctoral student might read over 1,000 articles during their program. Even master's students often engage with hundreds of sources. Trying to manage this volume through browser bookmarks and folder hierarchies quickly becomes unworkable. Citation accuracy is a professional requirement with real consequences. Inaccurate citations can damage your credibility, and inconsistent formatting suggests carelessness to reviewers and committee members. Manually formatting citations is also tedious and error-prone, especially when different journals require different styles. The time savings from automated citation management are substantial. Formatting a bibliography manually might take 30 minutes to an hour for a typical seminar paper. Reference managers reduce this to seconds. Over a graduate career with dozens of papers, you save tens of hours on bibliography formatting alone. But retrieval may be the most important benefit. 6 months from now, you will need to find that perfect source that made the exact argument you need. Without systematic organization, you will spend frustrating hours searching through files trying to locate it. Reference managers make this retrieval quick and reliable. Zotero has become the most popular reference manager among academics, and for good reason. As free, open-source software, it removes financial barriers and provides transparency about how your data is handled. The core Zotero application runs on your computer, meaning you retain full control over your library. The browser connector is one of Zotero's strongest features. Install it in Chrome, Firefox, or Safari, and you can save sources with a single click while browsing. Zotero automatically extracts metadata from journal websites, library catalogs, and many other sources. The accuracy of this automatic extraction is remarkably high, especially from academic databases. Zotero's built-in PDF reader, added in version 6, allows you to annotate articles directly within the application. You can highlight, add notes, and extract annotations into Zotero notes that integrate with your citation library. This keeps your reading workflow within a single application. The community around Zotero has created numerous plugins extending its functionality. Better BibTeX improves compatibility with LaTeX. Zotfile provides advanced PDF management. Various plugins connect Zotero with note-taking apps like Obsidian and Notion. This ecosystem means you can customize Zotero to fit your specific workflow rather than adapting to the tool's limitations. While Zotero itself is free, understanding its storage model matters for practical use. Zotero provides 300 megabytes of free cloud storage for syncing your library across devices. This sounds limited, but it primarily applies to PDF attachments, not the metadata itself. If you attach many PDFs, you may exceed this limit quickly. Several options exist for managing storage. Zotero offers paid plans ranging from $2 to $6 per month for more cloud storage. Alternatively, the Zotfile plugin allows you to store PDFs in your own cloud storage like Dropbox or Google Drive, while Zotero manages only the metadata. Many users find this linked file approach works well and keeps Zotero entirely free. Citation integration with Microsoft Word and Google Docs is robust. Install the Zotero plugin and you can insert citations directly while writing. Zotero handles formatting according to thousands of citation styles, and you can switch styles with a single click if a journal requires different formatting. The bibliography updates automatically as you add citations. The learning curve for Zotero is moderate. Most users become comfortable with basic functionality within a few hours. Mastering advanced features like saved searches, tags, and related items takes longer but adds significant power. The investment pays off quickly given how frequently you will use these features. Mendeley positions itself as more than a reference manager aiming to be a social network for researchers. Owned by Elsevier, one of the largest academic publishers, Mendeley integrates with scholarly publishing infrastructure in ways that smaller tools cannot. Mendeley includes strong PDF annotation capabilities that have been a core feature from its beginning. You can highlight, add sticky notes, and annotate documents within the Mendeley reader. For many users, this integrated reading experience is a significant draw. The social features distinguish Mendeley from purely personal reference managers. You can create groups to share references with collaborators or lab members. Following other researchers lets you see what they are reading and citing. These features can aid literature discovery, helping you find important sources through your network rather than only through database searches. Researcher profiles on Mendeley serve as a form of academic social media. You can list publications, track citations, and connect with others in your field. While academic networking has limitations, these profiles can contribute to your overall scholarly presence. However, be aware that Mendeley's ownership by Elsevier raises concerns for some academics who prefer tools independent from commercial publishing interests. Mendeley offers a generous free tier with 2 gigabytes of personal storage for PDF files, significantly more than Zotero's free offering. This makes Mendeley attractive for users who want substantial free cloud storage without configuring alternative solutions. Many institutions have Mendeley Institutional Edition subscriptions that provide additional features and storage. Check whether your university offers this access before deciding between free and paid options. The subscription may already be included in your library services. Mendeley works across platforms with desktop applications for Windows, Mac, and Linux, plus mobile apps and web access. This cross-platform availability makes it easy to access your library from different devices and locations. You can read and annotate papers on your tablet while your full library syncs in the background. Data privacy deserves consideration when choosing Mendeley. Because Mendeley stores your library on Elsevier's servers, they have access to detailed information about what you read and cite. Elsevier's business model depends on this kind of usage data. If you work on sensitive topics or simply prefer not to share your reading habits with a commercial publisher, this may influence your choice. Some academics specifically avoid Mendeley for these reasons despite its technical strengths. EndNote has been the reference management standard in many academic fields since its introduction in 1988. This long history means mature software with robust features, though the interface feels dated compared to newer tools. EndNote's integration with Microsoft Word is exceptionally deep. The Cite while you write feature provides sophisticated options for handling citations, including manuscript formatting tools that some publishers specifically support. If your field has complex citation requirements, EndNote's formatting capabilities may be unmatched. Institutional support for EndNote often includes training, help desk support, and pre-built style templates for university-required formats. If your institution licenses EndNote, you may have access to support resources that are not available for free tools like Zotero. This can be valuable when you encounter problems or need help with advanced features. However, EndNote's pricing creates significant barriers. Individual licenses cost over $300, making it inaccessible for students whose institutions do not provide access. This pricing model reflects EndNote's positioning as professional software for researchers at well-funded institutions. The irony is that free alternatives now offer comparable functionality for most use cases, making EndNote's premium price harder to justify based purely on features. Before investing in EndNote personally, check whether your institution provides access. Many universities include EndNote in library services or site licenses. Your tuition may already be covering a license you can activate. The EndNote online service offers free basic functionality that may suffice for some users. However, this web version lacks many features of the desktop application, and the 30 GB storage limit creates constraints for heavy users. The free tier serves better as a companion to the desktop version than as a standalone solution. The learning curve for EndNote is steeper than for Zotero or Mendeley. The interface conventions reflect software design from decades ago, and some features require understanding non-obvious workflows. Budget time for learning if you choose EndNote, and take advantage of any training your institution offers. Platform considerations matter for EndNote users. The Windows version has historically received more development attention and has deeper integration with Microsoft Office. Mac users report more issues and missing features. If you work primarily on Mac, you may find Zotero or Mendeley provides a smoother experience. Given these considerations, my recommendation is to use EndNote only if your institution provides it and your field specifically benefits from its features. Otherwise, free alternatives serve most graduate students equally well or better. Let me synthesize the comparison across these three tools to help you make an informed decision. On cost, Zotero is completely free with optional paid storage upgrades. Mendeley offers a generous free tier with more included storage than Zotero. EndNote requires either an institutional license or a substantial personal investment. For most graduate students, cost alone makes Zotero the most accessible option. Storage considerations depend on how many PDFs you want to manage in the cloud. Mendeley's 2 GB free tier exceeds Zotero's 300 megabytes, but Zotero's linked file approach through Zotfile can eliminate cloud storage costs entirely. EndNote storage depends on your license type. All three tools support collaboration through shared folders or groups. EndNote's group features are strongest for large lab environments. Mendeley emphasizes social discovery. Zotero's groups work well for smaller collaborations and are free without storage limitations on shared metadata. My recommendation for most graduate students is Zotero. It combines zero cost with excellent functionality, active development, a strong plugin ecosystem, and no data privacy concerns from commercial publishing interests. The only reasons I would suggest alternatives are institutional mandates, specific collaboration needs that favor Mendeley, or field requirements that specifically need EndNote's advanced formatting. Once you have chosen your reference manager, building an organized library requires consistent practices. The browser connector should be your primary method for adding sources. When you find an article in PubMed, Google Scholar, or your library database, clicking the browser extension captures full metadata with minimal effort. Make this your default behavior whenever you encounter sources worth saving. Batch imports from databases help when you are doing systematic literature searches. Export citations in RIS or BibTeX format from databases, then import them all at once into your reference manager. This is faster than clicking the browser connector dozens of times and ensures you capture everything from a search session. Manual entry should be your last resort. Typing citation information is slow and error-prone. You might need manual entry for older sources not in databases, personal communications, or unusual source types. When you must enter manually, double-check every field against the original source. PDF metadata extraction can save time when you have existing PDFs without citation records. All major reference managers can attempt to extract metadata from PDFs. However, this extraction is imperfect. Always verify extracted metadata against the original source, as errors in author names, publication years, or journal titles are common. Clean metadata now prevents citation errors later. Reference managers offer two main organizational tools: folders or collections, and tags. Understanding how to use each effectively creates a library you can actually navigate. Folders create hierarchical organization, typically around projects or courses. You might have folders for each seminar paper, for your dissertation chapters, or for different research projects. One source can appear in multiple folders without duplication. This project-based organization makes it easy to find all sources relevant to a specific piece of writing. Tags create flexible, cross-cutting categories that span projects. You might tag sources by methodology, theoretical framework, population studied, or stance on a debate. Tags answer the question, when I need all sources about X, regardless of which project they belong to, how do I find them? The most effective approach combines both systems. Use folders for project-based organization that matches how you work day to day. Use tags for characteristics that matter across projects. A source about qualitative methods in your first seminar paper folder should also be tagged methods qualitative, so you can find it when writing your dissertation's methodology chapter. Start with simple structures. It is tempting to create elaborate hierarchies and dozens of tags from the beginning. This complexity often becomes burdensome. Begin with a few broad folders and essential tags, then add granularity as you discover what you actually need. Your organizational system should evolve based on use. PDF management is where reference library organization often breaks down. Without consistent practices, you end up with thousands of cryptically named files scattered across folders, duplicates proliferating, and no reliable way to match PDFs to their citations. Adopt a consistent file naming convention from the start. I recommend author_year_short title format, which creates files like Smith_2020_public health inequities. This naming makes files findable even outside your reference manager and creates alphabetically sorted lists that make sense. Most reference managers can automatically rename PDFs according to your specified pattern. Decide where your PDFs will live. You can store them inside your reference manager's controlled storage or link to files in a separate folder structure. Internal storage is simpler, but may cost money for cloud sync. Linked files give you more control but require maintaining the folder structure yourself. Either approach works if you are consistent. Back up your library regularly. Whether you use cloud sync, external drives, or both, ensure your PDFs and citation database are protected. Losing years of organized sources would be devastating. Enable automatic backup if your reference manager supports it. Clean duplicates regularly. As you save sources from different databases or import colleagues' recommendations, duplicates accumulate. Set a recurring task to merge or remove duplicates. Most reference managers include duplicate detection features to help identify potential matches. Citation integration with your word processor is the feature that makes reference managers worth the investment. Once set up, this integration transforms the tedious process of formatting citations into something nearly effortless. Start by installing your reference manager's word processor plugin. Zotero, Mendeley, and EndNote all offer plugins for Microsoft Word. Zotero and Mendeley also support Google Docs. The installation process varies by tool but is generally straightforward. Follow your tool's documentation to ensure proper setup. When writing, insert citations directly from your reference manager. You will typically see a toolbar button or keyboard shortcut that opens a search dialog. Type a few words from the title or author name, select the source, and the formatted citation appears in your text. This takes seconds compared to minutes for manual formatting. Your bibliography generates automatically based on inserted citations. As you add citations to your document, the reference list updates. If you remove a citation, the bibliography adjusts. This eliminates the mismatch errors that plague manually maintained bibliographies. Perhaps most valuable, citation style changes apply instantly. If you drafted a paper using APA format but the target journal requires Vancouver style, you simply select the new style and every citation and the entire bibliography reformats automatically. This feature alone saves hours when submitting to journals with different requirements. Understanding citation styles and how reference managers handle them prepares you for the varied requirements you will encounter in graduate school. All major reference managers include thousands of citation styles, standard styles like APA 7th edition, MLA 9th edition, Chicago both author date and notes bibliography variants, and Vancouver are readily available. You will likely use APA or Chicago for most graduate coursework, depending on your field's conventions. Journal-specific styles matter when publishing. Academic journals often have precise formatting requirements that differ subtly from standard styles. Reference managers typically include styles for major journals. If your target journal is not available, search the style repository as someone may have created it, or contact the journal about their preferred approach. The Citation Style Language Format, abbreviated CSL, is an open standard that all major reference managers now support. This means styles created for one tool often work in others, expanding the available options. You can also create custom styles if you have very specific requirements, though this requires learning CSL syntax. Check your institution's requirements carefully. Some universities specify exact citation formats for theses and dissertations that differ from published style guides. Your graduate school or library may provide custom styles formatted for these requirements. Using the correct institutional style from the beginning avoids reformatting work later. Graduate work increasingly involves collaboration, making shared reference management valuable for research teams, lab groups, and co-authored papers. All major reference managers support creating shared groups or libraries. You can invite collaborators, share references and attachments, and build a common resource base for your project. This is particularly valuable for research labs where members can contribute sources as they find them, creating a growing collective library. Access levels let you control what collaborators can do. You might give lab members full edit access to add and modify sources while giving outside collaborators view-only access. Think carefully about permissions, especially for shared projects where you need to maintain data quality. When collaborators use different reference managers, export features enable sharing. You can export citations in RIS, BibTeX, or other common formats that import into any tool. This is not as seamless as shared groups, but allows cross-tool collaboration. For shared folders in cloud storage, coordinate naming and organizational conventions with collaborators. Nothing is more frustrating than a shared project folder where everyone uses different file naming schemes. Establish conventions at the project start and document them so everyone follows consistent practices. Mobile access extends your reference library beyond your desk, enabling productive reading during commutes, travel, or any time away from your computer. Understanding mobile options helps you choose tools that fit your workflow. Zotero, Mendeley, and EndNote all offer mobile applications with varying capabilities. Mendeley's mobile experience has historically been strongest, with good PDF reading and annotation. Zotero's iOS app has improved significantly and integrates well with the desktop version. Evaluate mobile apps based on how you actually read, whether primarily annotation, quick reference lookup, or extended reading sessions. Sync considerations affect mobile usability. If you have hundreds of PDFs, syncing your entire library to mobile devices consumes significant storage and bandwidth. Most apps let you select specific folders or items to sync, keeping mobile storage manageable. Think about which sources you actually need on mobile. Download materials before travel or times without reliable internet. Airplane time can be excellent for reading if you have prepared your device with relevant PDFs. Make downloading part of your trip preparation routine. Some researchers prefer dedicated PDF reading apps over their reference manager's built-in reader. If you use apps like PDF Expert or GoodNotes, explore whether annotations sync back to your reference manager or require manual export. Keeping annotations integrated with your citations maintains organization. A reference library is only valuable if the information in it is accurate. Maintaining quality requires ongoing attention to data integrity. Verify metadata accuracy whenever you add sources. Browser connectors and database imports are generally reliable, but errors occur. Quickly scan the author names, year, title, and publication venue before moving on. Catching errors at entry takes seconds, while finding and fixing them later takes much longer. Standardize author name formats to ensure consistent searching and sorting. Decide whether you will use full first names or initials, how you will handle multiple authors, and how you will format names with particles or suffixes. Apply your conventions consistently so searching for an author finds all their works in your library. Schedule regular cleanup sessions, perhaps monthly or at the end of each semester. Look for and merge duplicate entries. Delete orphaned attachments, PDFs no longer linked to citations. Remove sources you no longer need. A lean, accurate library serves you better than a bloated one with questionable data. Archive completed projects rather than deleting them. You may need to reference sources from old papers years later. Move completed project folders to an archive section of your library where they remain searchable but do not clutter your active workspace. This maintains your history while keeping your current view focused. Let me outline a practical implementation plan for setting up your reference management system during your first 2 weeks. This phased approach builds competence progressively without overwhelming you. Days 1 and 2 focus on choice and setup. Based on our comparison, select your reference manager. Install the desktop application and browser connector. Create your account if the tool requires one. Connect to your word processor by installing the citation plugin. Test that everything works by adding one source and inserting one citation. Days 3 through 5 begin building your library. Add all sources for your current courses. This immediate application ensures you are using the tool from the start rather than saving it for later. Pay attention to how easy or difficult different sources are to add. Note any metadata that requires correction. Days 6 through 10, establish your organizational structure. Create folders for current projects and courses. Develop your initial tagging scheme. Decide on your PDF naming convention and storage approach. Apply these structures to the sources you have already added. Days 11 through 14, practice your writing workflow. Write a short assignment using your reference manager for citations. Experience the full cycle from adding sources to inserting citations to generating your bibliography. Note any friction points that need adjustment. By the end of 2 weeks, you will have a working system and practical experience with daily use. Let us consolidate the essential lessons from today's exploration of reference management for graduate students. First, choose a tool and commit to using it consistently. For most graduate students, I recommend Zotero for its combination of excellent functionality, zero cost, active development, and data ownership. However, any tool used consistently will serve you far better than the perfect tool used sporadically. Make your choice and invest in learning it well. Second, build organizational structures that will scale with your career. Start simple with basic folders and a few essential tags. Add complexity only as you discover genuine needs. Remember that sources you add in your first semester should still be findable when you write your dissertation years later. Third, master citation integration with your word processor. This is the feature that transforms reference management from organizational overhead into genuine time savings. Practice inserting citations and generating bibliographies until it becomes automatic. Your future self will thank you every time you write a paper. Finally, maintain library quality through consistent practices. Verify metadata on entry, standardize formats, clean up regularly, and archive thoughtfully. A well-maintained library is a career-long asset. In our next session, we will discuss academic writing and how it differs from the writing you did as an undergraduate. These reference management skills will directly support that more sophisticated writing practice. Writing the thesis is a marathon, not a sprint, but you do not have to run it alone. If you are feeling stuck with your data or overwhelmed by your sources, let us help. Head over to subthesis.com. It is completely free and designed to make your life easier. You are making progress. Keep going. And don't forget to subscribe for more support.